Oh, this one, we kind of went over a little bit. It's just in general, would you recommend students getting the CHRP? And I think just to put it in general words, I would say that it is worth getting if the cost and the time isn't too overwhelming for you, because it's always a important part that could open up a lot of opportunities for you, so that if you have some extra time or you have the resources, then definitely you should get that designation just to keep your doors open. That was just for editing purposes.
Yeah. Spot on, Vicky.
Yeah. But also it's like, if you're in a space right now where you can't afford it, don't panic.
Right. And I think a lot of companies, they do have a budget for like yearly continuation studies and stuff. So I definitely think that if you already got a job and you think you're handling it well, it's definitely worth taking that budget and to kind of upskill your curricular. So the next one is kind of a difficult question. It kind of forces you guys to compare head on MIRHR versus CHRP.
I mean,
really
Lily has both, so I feel like I can't really speak to it.
Yeah,
I don't have.
I think I've asked a lot of people about the same questions, and I've getting mixed answers.
Yeah, like my colleagues, none of them have the RHR, so they make fun of me all the time. They're like, "You're such a nerd for doing both." Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't want to do both of them. I already told you I didn't want to do the CHRP. My boss paid for it, so I'm like, cool. The MIRHR, they were chasing me because I was close with a couple of professors, and they knew about me. So they'll be like, "Oh, so Lily, when are you gonna apply?" And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I'm good. Like, I just want to work. I just want to work and make money, right? But UFT was like, we'll let you do it part-time and there's no issues. So it really depends. Like, I can't really say, yeah, both, like either or both are good. It really depends on what you want to do with your career. And if you see yourself as a VPHR one day, or maybe you just are happy being a consultant and, doing your own thing, like, you don't really necessarily need the master's. Like, I tell people all the time, like, yeah, it's great to have it, but I won't gloat about that I have it versus over someone else, because that person might have killer experience way over me.
Right.
So I don't want to say that one is better than the other. It really depends on what your path is. Like, for me, one day, hopefully, I would want to become a VP HR. So having that master's and the CHRL, hopefully a CHRE, which is for executives, that will happen for me one day. Again, it's for me keeping my doors open, and someone can't come up to me and say, well, you don't have this.
Right.
That's more frustrating for me. And I'm always looking to grow and to learn. So, eventually one thing that I'm looking at is doing my change management certificate. So definitely the most important part is developing yourself, investing in yourself. So you're keeping up with the trends and what's happening in HR. So people can't say, well, you've been, doing the same thing for 20 years. We don't want you. So always making yourself learn everything that's happening and making yourself useful in the HR industry will get you anywhere you want, no matter if you have your master's or your CHRP. As long as you have that experience under your belt, you'll be okay.
Powerful words. Amazing.
Very well.
Yeah. Just to have like a smaller follow-up question, could you, from your own experience, could you kind of explain a little bit like the differences between them?
So for I've learned different things for that. Of course, the certification, I already had my undergraduate courses and I had that under my belt. So it's much easier to get the CHRP and the CHRP as long as you have the experience. For the master's, it was a little bit more difficult for me because I was a part-time student, that I didn't feel like I got that connection with anyone. Like, I was working full-time, I would do my night classes, and all I wanted to do was go home and eat and sleep. That's all. Okay, so for me, it was the grind of, okay, I just want my master's, give me my master's. And in the beginning, they will only make you take, they will only allow you to take one course instead of two, because they felt a lot of part-time students were drowning taking two courses. So you have to prove yourself. If you get an A in the first course that you do, they'll approve you to take two courses, but you can only take two courses max. And my mentality was, I just wanted to get this over with. And that 2.5 years was like my threshold. I'm like, I'm not here for 4 years. I can't do another 4 years of school.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different type of courses. It's heavily focused a little bit more on industrial relations. Again, I'm not in unions like working for unions right now. I did previously. Again, keeping doors open of having a little bit of both. And one of the key, probably key courses that I took during my MIRHR was the negotiation course, because that's where I learned to make more money. So that's where I learned that I can say things or I can do things to make myself at an advantage, and people wanting me than me chasing other employers saying, hey, I want this job. I had, multiple recruiters that were contacting me instead of me contacting them. And that Professor Raj, he's a mentor that I have right now. Like, we meet up, here and there for coffee to talk about what I'm doing. And that was definitely one of the key areas for my master's when I did it.
I guess I'll just kind of, to conclude and sum up everything that was just said. So I think, from my understanding, MIRHR is a much bigger commitment for everyone. And I think if you are really committed and to know extensive knowledge, and you are hoping to get to the more theoretical side, for example, like maybe going to academia or something, it might be very useful to get that knowledge and to get that connection with, for example, mentorships with the industry experts. And then CHRP is a quicker way, and it is a lesser of a commitment if you do want something to open up opportunities. And I think, oh, and also based on Lily's words, take negotiation courses to make more money. Yes.
Yes.
Right. We do have that in Rotman Commerce. I think I've seen a negotiation courses in 4th year. So everyone take notes. Linking to the last point, advices to students. What's some advices that you can give to current students who wish to enter the HR industry, and any insights on the future of HR industry? Like, where is it moving, or what do you think it's moving towards?
Alex, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I would say, if possible, so my first, I guess, real HR position was that HR coordinator position, where I secured my co-op. And what I really liked about that position was just that, so I was part of this really tiny team. Like, it was essentially just myself and my manager, who were HR. And we serviced an office of 100 people in Toronto. And then we also serviced all of our employees who were in our markets abroad. And what a job like that really requires you to do is, like, you have to be really adaptable, and you have to be able to wear many hats and, like, adapt to different situations, and, like, be able to, like, take situations as they come and, like, really handle that pressure of, like, one day I'll be doing a lot of recruitment work and the other day I'll be doing a lot of, like, benefits enrollment for all the people I just hired. And it's like, you have to be able to, I guess, like, switch between those different functions. And what I loved about it was it really showed me what parts of HR I enjoy doing. So if you can, if you're looking for that, like, kind of starting position, if you're able to secure a job where you are exposed to a lot of different areas of HR, it's super helpful to help you figure out what you actually like to do, because HR is so broad. Like, there are so many functions underneath that HR umbrella. So again, figuring out what you actually like to do is so helpful. And finding something like that was, like, really a boon to my career, just because it helped me like really realize like what it is about HR that I loved. Like I knew that I loved it, but like what exactly I could do for the rest of my life, I guess. And obviously that's going to keep changing, but having that position where I was wearing those different hats every day was really helpful for me.
I think a lot of big corps, for example, Bell, they are coming up, and Rogers, I think, and a lot of the big banks, they are coming up with rotational grad leadership programs that get you to go through different stages of HR, and they kind of get you to put into teams with executives as mentors and kind of help you to prepare so that you can find a landing position and then you go into full-time. So I think definitely based on Allison's advice, this is something that people really should consider so that you kind of get that exposure. Lily?
Yeah, so yeah, getting a co-op or internship in HR, like it's great. I know not everyone can. So if you can get like a part-time job, working in an office or anything. So the great thing about HR is that a lot of skills that you can get working at a part-time job, any type of part-time job. Like I had 2 or 3 part-time jobs while I was working doing my undergraduate degree. So I was working in the office at Ryerson, and I was also working at a dollar store. And everything that you do in HR, there's transferable skills. So working at the dollar store, I had to communicate with customers, had to calm people down. So really like thinking about how to, listen to people, understand what their issues are and helping them. So what HR is. So I don't have to be like, well, I didn't do anything HR related. I try to always make my experience and twist it into how it can in HR. So I think that that's very important to just have work experience under your belt while you're working, going to school if possible. And also I think the key thing, but as a student, I know that it can get really stressful, like just, worrying about getting a job, especially during a COVID compare yourself to someone else and say, oh, well, this person already got a job, or this person's already HR generalist, I'm just a coordinator. Who cares? Like everyone has their own journey, everyone has their own path, and you'll all get where you want as long as you work hard. Nothing's ever going to be given to you on a silver platter. As long as you're working hard and people can see that, and you have that support system, do what you need to do to get to where you want to be. And I can't stress that enough, because I see a lot of students get stressed out, and it's unfortunate because they're always comparing themselves to their friends or someone else, like a classmate. And in terms of like insights on future, like what's happening in the industry, I would say that there's a lot of blending of the tech and HR. So we're really focusing at my job, how we can use like HR data and improve it. And maybe we need to use technology. So fortunately, my company uses Workday as our HRIS system, and typically, we'll pull reports, but we try to make stories out of it, because if you throw that data to a VP or a director, they're like, okay, what does this mean? Like, I don't know what it is. So if you can create a story with that information and say, look, we're having a lot of people in our projects team, leaving on their own certain reasons, then you're just giving them the data. It doesn't make sense to them. So as long as you can look, maybe taking extra in Excel or something, I think that would really help you kind of get above and beyond other people.
Yeah, I definitely see data analysts, or not just data analysis, but like just the ability to handle quantitative research or data, and to kind of convey that into a story that everyone can understand is super important. So I think definitely for the students who are listening, Eco 220 stats course is something that you can learn that from. And yeah, definitely treasure that so that, you know, you are able to have that technical ability under your belt when you go on to your first role, or, you know, anything that you want to do basically in HR. Everything is moving into that direction, definitely. Allison?
No, you covered it basically. I was just gonna say that I definitely do see a trend in, like, in addition to HR being, like, I guess, very administrative and it's like kind of lower levels of it, I think that to really kind of excel in the field, it's like you can kind of, we're in a unique position to kind of see like all this data about the people in a company, and like actually understanding it and then figuring out where things can be improved is something that HR is really moving towards, and that's something really exciting about our field.
A extra comment for our students. You can definitely Google HR analytics if you want to learn more about that field. I think a lot of people are trying to combine the HR data with different coding languages, if you're interested in that, and kind of use these technology to convey the story behind what's happening in your firm, and why the turnover is so high, stuff like that. So definitely, if you are interested in that, you can definitely have fun learning that kind of material. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the Q&A, like the panel style Q&A, and just we're right on time, so we can kind of ask if anyone has any questions or comments that you can ask the speakers, and then we'll end off. Also, people from our team, you can also ask questions. I think we've covered most questions that I had when I was doing my research for the CHRP. So I think we should be good here. Please stay tuned for our future events, and then you can follow us here on our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And we also have posters that's linking the two speakers that we have, Lily and Allison here, so you can find them on LinkedIn and connect with them. And also, connection is really important in HR industry. So yeah, you can do that if you want to get connected. And yeah, that would be the end of today. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so much. Okay. And you can turn off the mic and then exit the meeting if you want. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
so much.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.